Okay. I'm audible, right?
Yeah, Samir.
Okay. My screen is visible.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any questions you have from the last class or anything, any such information? Do you have any questions? No.
No,
And
still working on the assignments.
okay. So
And
this week,
I think
hmm, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
assignment 4 solutions is not provided yet, right?
Yeah, I
If I am
don't.
correct.
Right, I didn't get the time. I'll do this weekend. It's fine, right?
Yeah, sure.
Because I need to give some couple of other assignments also. My Saturday, in the sense, maybe my Friday night, your morning Saturday, we
Yeah,
will get it everything. Okay.
yeah, that works for us too.
Yeah, even assignment four solution along with couple of other assignments. Whatever the topics we discuss, subqueries and joins, everything,
Yeah.
right? Combination of that.
Hmm.
And once you
Hmm.
done that, how many days to it will take for you? Like 3 4 days to complete it everything?
Uh, for this assignment set, we will complete. So far, the given assignments we will complete this weekend, in two
Yeah,
three.
Mm-hmm.
by Sunday even I will complete all these assignments for it.
Okay, then another three assignment I will give. So the total questions be around, let's take 15 to 16 questions again. So that will how much time it will take?
Mhm.
Another 2 3 days.
Okay, so 2 3 days in the sense maximum by Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay,
Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah.
okay. So then Wednesday or Thursday, I will provide that project. Okay, there I will give your database, how to insert the data and everything, and couple of questions on top of that. So that is you can practice and submit within 1 week. It's fine.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And by, and by the time we'll start the Power BI from the next week in the sense your Sunday. Okay.
From this Sunday, you're gonna start Power BI then?
Yeah. Yeah. Correct. That's correct.
Okay. We know basic SQL. That's why I didn't maintain so much of notes actually.
Hmm.
Do we have to maintain any notes for Power BI like that?
Power BI, if you want, you can maintain. You know Power BI?
No, I don't know. I know only SQL, so that's why I didn't maintain much notes with for SQL thing.
Right. Right. So yeah, it's better to maintain something. Whichever is you feel that like this is important, just note it down. Anyway,
Oh,
everything
okay.
will be practiced only, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
And at the final of SQL class, can you mention what all you covered so that it will be easy to recollect everything?
Hmm. Okay. Sure. I
Okay.
will. I
Thank
will
you so much.
collect that one. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And few topics on the PL SQL series I didn't cover because that is not required and it will be very heavy. So I just scripts it. So the SQL in the sense the part which is most required and from where the questions will come up for you. Okay. And all things I covered. Few things here and there. If you feel that any topic, specific topic, if you know that any specific topic you want to discuss like advanced things, right? Let me know in between Power BI also if you want. I can discuss that also. Okay, it's not an end for that. Got it?
Okay.
Yeah.
And some last question.
Hmm.
Um, when you're uploading the YouTube videos, uh,
I'm not
there is
uploading.
no
Sorry.
specific.
Sorry, I'm not uploading.
Oh, you're not uploading.
Yeah, I'm not uploading. So what happened to that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you? Uh,
Go ahead. What happened to that?
oh, sorry. for which video it is ours, it's unable to find out actually.
Is it? Okay. I don't know. I need to check with them because there should be a playlist, right, with the name of the page and all. So let me check. I don't
No,
know.
in that playlist, somebody else class is also mixed up, so
Oh,
unable to
okay.
find out only our class on that.
Okay. Okay. I'll check with them. Like what exactly?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I think one thing we missed yesterday, if you remember, what is that? From the Windows functions, right? That last value function we used, right? And somehow, where is the table? Let me check. Here, on which database I was having that? You remember, right? What is the problem you're facing on the last value, or not remember? Uh,
Day before yesterday's class, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct. Day before class, only day before yesterday only. So that's supposed to be discussed yesterday itself, but somehow we missed it. Mm,
Last value.
correct. Last value function. Remember?
Uh, I don't remember actually. But we were discussing first value and last value on that day.
Correct. And we got the proper output in the first value, but whereas we didn't get the proper things on the last value. If you remember. Let me just
In the
give me a sec.
last value, we got null, right?
Yeah, this the one. Okay, I got it. So let me again discuss this. This is very important. We forgot one thing there. So that if you discuss that, then it will be completion of your Windows function also. Let me open that. What happened to this? Hmm? Oh, okay, sorry. See? Yeah, so here we're discussing the first one, right? So how you written that one? So let's take select star. Then we discussed about the first value function. You remember now first value. Let me write again. Okay. First value. I want to get the expensive product under each category. The first question we did it, right? Expensive product. So the first value of my product name. Then over. Then what you written? Can you tell me if you remember? For the most expensive product under each category. What to how to write here? Hmm? Am I audible?
Yeah, I was muted. So select star, first value or product name
Hmm.
over
Hmm.
partition by product category, order by price,
Right. Correct. That's absolutely correct. Product underscore category order by
price,
price descending. Right.
yeah, descending
Yeah. From my
from
uh,
Windows product.
yeah. Invalid column name. What is that column name here? Yeah. Okay. Spelling mistake. Product underscore name. Okay. Now if you run this for each category. So this is the one. We'll get your max, the expensive product, right? So I'm saying as expensive underscore product. Okay. So if I run this under each category, so under the earphones, this is the max, right? Airport max, because the price is 280 rupees. Under the headphone, airport max is the max because the 550 rupees, correct? So, but when we are doing the same thing, least expensive product, so I'm just changing this thing. And instead of the first value, if I start using the last value here, okay, so the just the reverse of the last value would be, but when you run this and I say the least expensive product, this is list underscore expensive product. The way the output is going on for the least expensive product is not good. It is just printing the same value itself, right? The same value itself, almost, right? What do you think?
Yes.
Why it is happening? Just a thought I'm asking. Like, what is the problem here? Why this is working, this is not working? The same Windows function, but it is working, this is not working. Okay, so before to that, suppose this earphone, right? Let me just highlight this area. So whenever we are doing partition by the product category, so let's take for a only for one earphone category. So how many rows I have? Four rows, correct? Under that four rows only, the windows, because the windows function is something like we are giving a number of rows, right? In between that only you need to perform the calculation. The same way for partition by each category in the sense for the first earphone category it will be the four rows. Under that four rows, the first value is working and giving you the AirPods Pro, whereas the least expensive product is not working. Are you agree with me? If you consider the one category, is that correct statement? Hello,
I don't get you.
what do you, which part?
Uh, the explanation you gave, right? What we are getting and not getting. I don't understand.
No, I'm saying which part you didn't understand. First value you understand, huh?
Yeah, first value, yeah, I understand that one. Yeah.
Okay, I'm explaining the last value. So whenever this my question is, what is Windows function like lead, lag, rank, dense rank, everything we saw. The what is Windows function? Windows function is something like let's take in the first value or last value. What you are doing is you are doing a partition by category, right? So it will consider
Hmm.
each category as a group, correct?
Yes.
And under that group only it will give you the expensive and least expensive both, right? That's
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
logic you are planning to put it here.
Yeah.
Okay. So now in this case, let's take an example of only a earphone for our understanding. So how many rows I have? In this four rows for the earphone, I am getting the expensive product, which is absolutely right. But under these four rows only, when is going to the least expensive product, which is the last value function, is not working. Correct? Is that the
Yeah.
correct statement?
Yes.
Okay. So we are considering four rows for each category. Okay. So think once. So how it is considering this four only? Okay, we are doing a partition. That's fine. But how it is identifying that these four rows only we need to consider when it is calculating for the earphone. And whereas when you go to the headphone, how this is that much of intelligent that this functions that when it go to the category it will just consider four And when it will go to the headphone, it will consider only the 3 rows to calculate. I don't think so. There will be some intelligence going on inside that, right? So when it is going to the product category, it will consider this many rows only, or within this range. hmm, Within this range, it will calculate the expensive product and the least expensive products. And whereas it is go to the next categories, so it will consider this range and it will calculate the expensive product and the least expensive product. Okay. So basically what is happening is, I'm just putting a comment here. All Windows functions, right, associated with a range, it's a range, and this range is clearly caused. Okay. This range, actually, we are not providing it. By default, it will take it. In the sense that intelligent, some functions are very intelligent, like the lead, lag, rank. We never provide that. Like range, what is the range, we should take it. But this is the only functions we have in the Windows function category. For that, we need to be specific to specify the range because it is not getting out properly actually. Okay. And I will write some statement, then I will explain you what exactly it is. All Windows function, this going to note it down, okay? All Windows function default ranges, okay? Default ranges, range or rows, you can say anything, okay? Rows is I will explain you. First, let me write it. Then I will explain you. Unbounded preceding and current row. Okay. So this is the default range is going on for all Windows functions, which is called the unbounded preceding and the current row. Okay. So let me explain you. These two part. First of all, range or rows, you understand. Leave it about this part. I will explain you. What is range or rows, you understand? What exactly I am trying to refer here? Say yes or no. Please clarify. What is range or what is rows? Hello.
Rows means it's like a whole table.
Correct. So
Range
when
means
right, range or rows both are same. So in this case, like when it's consider the earphone category, right? It will consider this four only, right? So this is my range. This is my rows where I need to calculate. Correct? Got the point?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's
that means range of the rows. That's
correct,
what.
correct,
That's it, right?
right. So
Oh,
let's
one more
consider.
thing. You were
Mhm. Go
yeah,
ahead. Go
Samir.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
One more thing. You are not recording, right? So how can we get these things?
No, I'm recording. I'm recording with some other stuffs. Don't worry.
Oh,
You'll get that. Okay, so now this is the default range in this one. So default range something like it's saying that unbounded preceding and current row. Okay, and this default right, it will not affect to the first value, but whereas it is default is affecting to the last value. How it will, I will tell you. So whenever let's take you are on the first row, let's consider this four. Okay, this for an example. Okay. This don't consider in the first value, doesn't matter. But in case of last value, this is very much important. How it is important, I'll tell you. So whenever this 4 row is calculating, though, so it will be not 4, like it will be total 4 rows, but it will consider one by row, one by row, one by row, one by row, and compare, right? In the sense the price will be compare this, and this. Finally, it will give you the expensive, right, or the least expensive. So what is happening is unbounded preceding and current row means let's consider in the first row. Let's consider the first row here. Okay. When it is coming on the first row, right? Unbounded preceding means the previous row value and current row means current. So in this case, the first value in the first value is working, whereas the last value When it's consider the first this row, right? There is no previous row and current row it is there, so it is considering that the same value and it is just printing on the last value. Okay, I'm explaining one more time. When it is considered the first row here for the category, okay, for the earphone category, so the default range is going on unbounded preceding and current row. Since this is the first row of the earphone, there is no previous row and current row is there, so it is considering the same row as the list extension. Okay. Now when it's considered the second row, this guy. So unbounded preceding is what? The previous row and the current row. So it is just comparing 280 and 250. That's it. And it is giving you the list frequency, which is WX 100M. Because 280 and 250, which is the list, this guy, right? Then when it go to this 280, right? Just think which are the columns it is considering here. Why it is going Galaxy Buds Pro here? Because it is considering the previous row itself. So what is happening is it is just considering comparing when the last value is using current row and the previous row rather than it is considering the whole range. If you consider whole range, then only from that list I need the list extension, right? Instead of row by row, row by row. When it is current row, current row, previous row, current row, it is happening. That's why your last value is not working as expected. Let me tell you one more time, I will explain you, but tell me whether you clear or not this part. I'll explain one more time also. It's fine. Got it or not got it? All are clear?
So,
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
when we execute the same query without the first value, like select star last value and that entire query
Hmm.
will be the you will get the same result, right?
Now, this actually, this whatever the frame clause you have, right? This will not applicable to this. This will work, but in the sense, now what happening is first value and other functions that will not affect by this mechanism, whereas this function will be affected, this last value. And why it is affected? Because the default is this, and this is the happening. Whenever it is there in this row, right? It is just considering the previous row only and getting me the list product. So that's what is not working. Okay. Got it?
Okay.
Or I will explain you one more time. It's fine?
Yeah. Can we execute the query without the first value line and
Sure.
compare both the results?
I don't get you. What is that I need to do?
Uh, I just wanted to execute that
Okay,
same
this one.
query. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, same. It will not work out. So,
Okay.
so what is happening is when it is going to this row, right? It is just considering the
Mm-hmm.
previous row. There is no previous row.
Mm-hmm.
It will just comparing the current row itself within himself. So this is the list product only, right? Whereas go to the second row, right? It is considering the previous row and the current row and giving the list extension. Rather than
Mm-hmm.
it should consider whole range, right? And within that it should give me the
Yes.
list product, right? So that is not happening by
Yeah.
default. Okay. Now you got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now what to do? Now that this is my default frame clause, right? So we need to change change the frame clause or the this is called the frame clause actually. Okay. We need to change the frame clause so that it should consider all the rows whenever it is doing the last value, right? So that I can get the proper result for my last value, correct? So there are couple of lines are there. So first is unbounded preceding and current row. So I will write some statement, then I will say where to write the range. I'll tell you. So let me put it in this way. So just I'm just stepping down. Okay, inside that after the partition by, after your order by, right? We need to write your frame clause here. Okay, here you need to write after the partition. If you have a partition, if you order by, it's fine. After that, you need to write. Okay, so I need to write range. This is my frame clause. Okay, range between, and this is actually your default behavior, which is actually going on with all the Windows function, but not affecting other Windows function, but it is affecting your last value function. So this is the default, which is we no need to write it, but by default it is going on like this. Okay. But if you run this now, the same output will get it. We will not get the proper output which you are expecting, because this is the default frame clause for all the Windows function. You got it? First point. What is unbounded preceding and what is current row?
How this, yeah, I have
Hmm.
one question here, Samir.
Go ahead, go ahead.
How this default range is applicable to first value?
No, it is
The
not
default
applicable.
range.
It is not applicable. We can write it again if you want on the first value, we can write it that part also. But that is not applicable in the sense it is not affecting. Somehow, in the sense you can say that like that, that default frame clause is going on, but few functions are not affecting, but this function only is affecting. Like that, you need to understand. But you can write also that also. I'll show you. Just give me a second. We'll write that also here also. Any Windows function you saw that, right? You can write your
Mhm.
own range also. I'll show you. Just give me a second. Let me first fix the last value. Then I will come to that.
Yeah.
So how to fix the last value now? We need to consider all the rows for this, right? Since because what is happening is whenever is on the second row, it is just considering the first row and giving, rather than it is considering all the rows. So I need to say instead of the current row, right? I say one is unbounded preceding previous row and another is unbounded following. In the sense, what of the follow all the rows? In the sense, it is, let's say, I'm giving an example. So this is, so it will be this range is called unbounded preceding and unbounded following. So before whatever there, after whatever there, all range it will consider. So that name is called unbounded preceding and unbounded following. Okay. If you write this now and if you execute it, now see the result of the last value. Is it correct? Just clarify here. Just just look at the data for the earphone. Even in any category, just check it out. The least expensive is correct now.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so you got the point. What exactly happening and why it was not coming? Now it is clear, or you want me to explain one more time this part? And
I
this
got it.
got it, right? So this is only applicable. I'm saying only applicable, or only way to write only time is in the last value, most probably. Okay, other functions you can skip it. It's because nowhere we write it yet, right? Instead of the last value. Correct, no? Got it? Any questions up to here? Everybody is clear? We run both. All of you clear? Hey,
Hello.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I have no idea.
Oh,
Okay. Where I was there? Last. What is the last I was discussing? Or where you left? Hello? Hello,
Yeah,
what
we
were.
were talking about that bounded, unbounded range.
Right. It is clear, right?
So earlier it was comparing like the previous value only. Now after specifying this condition,
Hmm.
it's comparing both the previous
Both.
and following value. Yeah.
Yeah. Correct. Previous and following. So it is considering now the full range. Full range for the last word. Yes, correct. That's correct. Okay. So this is the range. Okay. And the same if you want to specify one, if you specify the same case in the first value also you can specify or any Windows function. So that also you can specify like range. Okay. You can specify one like the numbers also. What does it mean? Like you can specify something like let's take a range between uh, two. Let me put it in the below line. Range between two preceding and two following. Okay. So this is also we can do it in case of this or something like that. What will happen if you give this kind of range on the first value, previous two row and next two rows. That's the range it will consider. Okay, got it? Hello?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is there. This is the hidden clause actually, I can say for the Windows, which we'll never write. Any such requirement comes up, then we will just open up the range clause. This is the one of the use case scenario where you can just open up the range. You need to put the range. Otherwise, the last value will not work out. Will never work out. Okay? Make sense? Or any questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Everybody is good?
Will this scenario be frequently used or
No,
rarely
no.
used?
Only I'm saying only in case of the only in case of the last value.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because with last value will not work out without this. And sometimes if you say that you want to compare the something like this, like I want to take the first value. I need to range like previous two row, last three rows. Never came up, but I'm just giving such an example comes up. Like I need to consider the previous two and the next two. Then I need to use that range. Otherwise, range is always this only. Unbounded proceeding and current row only. So previous row and the current row. It will just consider that part and it will give you the output. This is always remember this is your default. Okay, always. And this within this default, only the only function which will not work, that is your call the last value. Okay, all right. So I think I'm good. Okay, let's jump into the one more database that I will provide. This is quite interesting. Okay, there is a bike store database where here so much tables you have. Okay, I will give this, you can use for your analysis, and this have a very huge data also. Okay, And I will give the script. You can create your database, something like that, and inside that you can create your tables also. And if you see this, the schemas also changing here, right? One instead of the default schema, you will get one is production, one is sales, and this is the way you will get in the real time also the data. Okay, it is not the default always. It will be like the DBO, just like in case this. Just open up another where you are working, right? SQL demo. See, all the DBO, right? The schemas. But whereas in this case, it is the other schemas are there. So this is the way the real-time data stores. Like they will create some different schemas on a particular table and store it. Okay. All right. So let's connect to this and try to understand few functionality. Okay. So we will discuss the set operators. You remember set operators from the mathematics?
Union.
Right, that one only. Yes. Union. Okay. Then another is union all, intersect, and here we have another is the except. So these are the four set operators we have in SQL. Okay. What is now? So this is a very peculiar questions everybody asks, and they have a doubt. Let me first write this, then I will explain you what is the question they will ask you. Okay. So here I have, let's take two tables. I have the staffs table in my customer table. Okay, let me first open up that. Select star from sales dot staffs. Yeah, select star from sales dot from staffs. So I have first name and last name. So I'm just opening up. Select star from customers. Sales dot customers. Sorry, sales dot customers. Okay. Now both, if I run it, so I'm just getting the first name and the last name. Okay. What my is that I need to combine the of first name and last name of the staffs and first name of the last name from the customer, and I just want to just combine both the things. Okay, just to combine. So what I need to write here in this case is that select first query would be my first underscore name, comma, last underscore name from my sales staffs. Then after that, I then put either union or union all. I'll explain you what is the difference between these two. Now, this is another query. Okay, and now if you run this, right, it will just combine everything. So, just the data. Now, this is how many, this is just almost about 1454 rows this is coming. Okay. So this is just a combination. So whenever you found that there is a two query outputs are there, and that query outputs you want to just merge it in a single thing, then in that time we will consider the union and union all or the intersect or the minus. That is called the set operator. Simple as that. Just to combine both the query outputs. Okay. So there are some rules. I will discuss about that. But this is a real confusion. So many people ask me that. Okay, we are doing the same thing in join, and what is the difference between a join and this case? So let me tell you with a diagram here. Just try to understand this diagram. So this is, let's take ID. I have 1, 2, 3. I have a ID 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I union this, right, it will just consider just a merge. 1, 2, 3, and 4 it will give you. But when in case of join, right, we are giving a condition. This equals to this. So that time it is not considering the query output rather. And one more thing, whenever you are doing the set operation, right, it will increase vertically. In the sense the number of rows will increase. Okay. Whereas in case of join, the number of columns will increase. Hmm? In the sense, suppose I have two columns in my first table, three columns in my second table. When we are joining it, I can get five columns there. Whereas in case of the set operation side, it will just increase vertically. Just merge it and it will give you the output. Okay. So that's don't make confusion. Like union and the set operation and joins are both are different. And set operations always works on the query output. In this case, if you see this is my first output. I'm just combining with the second output. That's it. I'm just combining and I'm getting 1454 rows. Okay. This is the union. You should just combine. So there is another called union all. If I say just see the output. Okay. In case of union, I got 1454 rows. Okay. And but if you do the union all and just combine these two now, how many you are getting? 1455. First one we got 1454 rows, but in this case got the 1455 rows. That's the difference between the union and unionless. Just remember that. I'm writing again here. This is an interview question they will ask you. Union and unional. Okay. Union don't consider the duplicates. Doesn't consider the duplicates. Consider the duplicates. Whereas unional consider all records. Include duplicates. This is the main difference between your what? Between your union and the union all. Okay? Make sense? Any question? It's simple one only. Just two need to combine. Right? Hello? Are you guys there? Not
Yeah.
Yeah,
again.
yes.
Okay. Now there are some rules. Rules is let me just open up so it stops here. Separately because I need to see some what are the columns, other columns I have. Okay. So let's take, I'm taking first name, last name and email, okay, from the sales tab. And this output I'm combining union or union all with first name and last name. If I consider this will throw an error. Okay, what is the error is that operator must have an equal number of expression in their target. So it means if the first query output is giving you the output of three columns, then obvious case the second also needs to be considered as three outputs only. It will never consider this. So first three columns, another two columns. Number of columns should be same whenever you are doing the set operations. This is the first rule. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Another rule. Let's take an example. So the first name and last name. Let me remove the email. Anyway, it will not work out. And I'm saying the first name and last name. Let me take an integer value, something store ID. Alright. So here I'm saying store underscore ID. So in the first table, right? I'm saying the first name and store ID, and in the second column first name and the last name. Now the one condition satisfied that both the queries is giving me two columns, right? But if I run this again, it will throw an error. Why the throw error? It will just compare one by row. So it is the first column first name. Yeah, here also first name is there. Where the second column it is store ID. It is a integer type, and the second type where what is the second query output? It is last name is the character type. This also will not work out. So the data types, okay, the data type which you are doing it that also should be seen, and the number of columns also should be seen. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But here we can do one thing. Suppose I am giving just give an example. Instead of the store ID, if I say email, will this work?
Yes, it will work.
It will work, but the output is doesn't make any sense to me because the first name to first name is fine. What will be combination of email to last name? Because the output will be wrong. Okay, so somehow some first name will give you the last name, and for the few first name, they'll the last name they will give the email. That's the output will be, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So output is wrong, but it will work out because both have the character data type. So just remember the number of column is sorry, number of columns is important. The data type also is important, and even the order also. So if you consider this here and this here, so that is also wrong. Like email, I say email comma first name, right? This will work, but this is also not make any sense, the output, right? Because the query output, whatever you are getting, we are just combining. So in this case, first output is email and first name, and second output is first name and last name. This is also not make sense to me. Okay, it will work, but the output will be somehow it is not the way we expected. So these are the few rules you should consider while writing union and sorry, any set operators, not union, any set operators. And in case of union, it should not it will not consider the duplicates whichever is coming from both the outputs, whereas in the union all it will consider all the records including the duplicates. There's a difference between your union and your union all. Okay, now let's next consider the intersect. You know, right? Intersection. What is intersection, guys? Can you please tell me?
Only the common columns will be,
Yeah.
well, like
So
matching
Yeah.
IDs be
correct. So the
different.
question is the common city between customer and stores. Let's take this an example. So I have a table called customer, then I have a table called stores. So I just want the common city between these two table, customer and stores. Okay. So that case I can use my intersection. Okay. So I will take sorry, select city. Okay, from sales dot customers intersect. Instead of union now, I'll put intersect. I'll say select city from sales stores. These are the two tables. Okay. So if I now intersect the common between these two, it will give you. That is called your intersection. These are the three cities which is common between these two tables, customer and the stores. Alright. I don't think so any doubt will be there. This is quite easy, right?
Yeah, Samir.
Yeah. So the last one, the set operator, which we'll discuss about your except. Except is something like, let me take an example of a question. Then I will explain you what is expect. I will consider I will consider these two table. Which table? The products table and my order items. These two table I will consider. Okay, and I will try to answer one question that give me the product that have no sales. This is the question I want to answer through the accept. I will consider the product table and my order items. This two table. Okay, how I will write? Select my product underscore ID. Hopefully this is the table. Let me check the column name. I'm not sure. I forgot. Select from production dot products. Let me check. Okay, product underscore ID. Yeah, that's correct. Product underscore ID from the production report. Okay, products except. Okay, except I say now I will consider the order item, right? So let me say select star from order, sorry, sales dot order items. Okay, so here if I let me check what is the column name I have in this. So also I have the order product ID here. Product underscore ID. So if I run select product ID from the product, so it will give me some products, right? How many? 321 rows. Okay. And when I am doing a order item from the sales and I'm giving the this one from the sales item, I'm getting this many rows. So except means now let me say what do you think what is the except means here? Let me run and these are the 14 rows which don't have any sales actually. There is no sales. Means it means is this rows are not available on the sales order item. So what does it mean by accept here? Can you please explain me? What does it mean?
That means which are not there in one table, they will
Right.
display.
So this whatever the product ID we are taking, except it is not there here. So that is called the, or we can say this is actually the set operation mathematics is called the minus. You know the minus? I think in Bali the MySQL it will be the minus, I guess, if you are trying.
I switched to SQL actually.
Oh, is it? Okay. No, no, I'm saying in MySQL there is no except. Instead of that we
Uh-huh.
imply minus. It's the same.
Okay.
Both are same. Okay. So this is except. Understand? Union all, then your intersect, then except. All are clear?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think that's it. I think last topic I will discuss that is let me switch on to any something else. Mm, yeah, here you can do I think. Which database is this? This is not required for me. Even now, this is let it be. This is which database? No, I want to just switch into my. Okay, okay. So, hmm, okay. So next topic we'll discuss. This is not a topic actually. This is just the way we write the SQL. Okay, that is called your CTE. This is nothing but your called common table expression. As of now, you saw every SQL statement. You always start with what? Whatever you written, always start with any statement. What is the statement you are putting? Like whenever you are
Select.
select, right? Whenever you are querying the data, always you are starting with the select. Now I will introduce to another statement that also it can start. The the CTE, the common table expression, always start with clause. Okay, so now the scenario would be changed. No, in the sense the SQL can be start with a with clause also. Okay, what does it mean? Suppose I want to say I want to calculate. Let's take department wise average salary. So what is my statement here? It's normal one. Select. Tell me. This is very simple, right? Department ID, then department wise average salary.
Average,
Huh, okay, this is
average
right.
salary.
Okay. ABG underscore sal from my employee table, then group by, correct?
Group by department ID.
Yeah, group by department ID. Okay, so here this is the way we write it. Okay, fine. Another way to write this, and lots of complex queries will write that way only. Okay, because that is the easiest way. So I will write in this way. I'll say start with the with clause now. With, okay. So always the CTE start at a with. Then we need to give a CTE name. CTE name just like the whatever the table name you are giving, right? Just we need to give a CTE name. Okay. Say ABG underscore sales. Okay. Then you need to write the edge. Then I will copy paste this whatever I have written here. Okay. Bracket and a bracket. Okay. So this is your CTE statement. Now, one second, guys. So, so here this is the with average, just giving a name here and bracket. This is the one. And finally, whenever we are trying to fetch, right? So we will say select star from. Instead of fetching from the original table, now we can fetch it from this table. This is a temporary table now that created. Okay, put a combination here. Now this the same output, but this is simplified version. Okay. Now if I run this, and this individually will not work out, never. So we need to consider all the statements, this one. Then only if you run this will give the same output. Why it is needed? You remember the last class, which I given you the that. Let me just give me a second. I have that, I guess. Let me open up that. I'll tell you why it is very much important.
Hey, Samir, did you stop sharing the screen?
Yeah, I'm doing it. 1 minute.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so now so hope you remember this is the last query last yesterday class we written, right? This with the inner joins and everything. Remember this query?
Yeah. Yes.
Here if you see this part, what it is doing? It is taking the order ID and sum of sales and just giving it. Correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now consider the second part. What is this doing? Same?
Same like first one.
Same like first one, right? So we are writing multiple times, right? This statement. One time, two times, three times, so many times we are doing it. Correct? So instead of all these things, if you consider this as a statement or just create a CTE out of this and just use it on your whatever it is required. So how we will do it? So let's try now on top of this I'll say with, okay, say order underscore sales, okay, as this statement I will put it inside, right? Now whenever I'm executing this, instead of that I say select star from order sales. Leave it this all these things. Sorry, let me check. Yeah, so total part will be removed now. I can say select star from my order underscore sales, right? And here also I can put that part select star from order underscore sales, right? So what is the simplification we did it? Whichever is the repeated for you, I just created a separate column here. Unnecessary. Why multiple times we will write the same statement multiples, right? It will just create a temporary tables here which contains this. Now, if you both will just select it and if you just execute it, you will get the output whatever the expected, right? Make sense to you? And when you go to a real-time project now, you see that so always they will start with the with because that's a good practice. So it is quite easier to understand. So because okay, I understand. Okay, this is doing this, and after this, I can refer anytime on that query, the same one. And this is temporary. I'm saying CTE means common table expression. Within that session, whenever it was running it, it will be there. When you leave it, it will be released up. Make sense? This is complicated or simple?
Actually confused.
Oh, why confused? Go ahead. Why confused? Hello?
Checking it once again, Samir, actually.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. Sorry. Good. I'm saying that this part, this query, right? We are repeating how many times? In this part, I am repeating. Again, I am repeating on this part only, right? So
Yes.
I am taking that query and I'm just creating a temporary table out of that using the with clause, and I'm giving the temporary table name as called the order sales, and I'm referring to that inside that. That's it. Very simple.
Oh, okay. Instead of writing big query and
Yeah, yeah,
first, okay. First you created that table and you are putting all those together and
correct.
making it a shorter version.
Shorter version. Yes,
Oh,
correct.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank
So whenever you are like we have a complex logic in the query, right? Create the city inside that everything just put it across. Okay. Then finally, when the main query will start, right? Just fetching that data inside to that. That is easier actually. Instead of writing all the complexity in one thing, so it will be clumsy, right? Sometimes we will not able to understand also. So if there is a CTE on top of that, there is a query, then we are fetching it. So that logic is present inside your CTE. Then from there we can just fetch it. Okay, very
you.
simple. There
Oh,
is nothing. CTE is not a big deal. It's just a concept. Okay.
okay.
This is like writing subquery, right?
Yep. Yep. Correct. Subquery
Mm.
and CTEs
Yeah.
are quite similar, but simplicity version CTE is good compared to subqueries because subqueries, right, we need to write multiple times. So that we write it right now, right?
So in
Mm.
subquery we have to explain a lot and not in the
Yeah,
city
explain
like
a
that.
lot. Not in explain. Yeah, correct.
Oh,
So in the CTE, the complex part, you can move it to a CTE and keep it there, and we can multiple time you can reuse it whenever it is required.
so when we are doing this, what is the use of subquery? I mean, in
Where? No. This combination of everything will work out. You can combine
Okay.
everything. It's not like CTE is there when subquery will be not there. It's not like that.
oh,
Okay. Okay. So another last topic which I want to discuss for the end of the session is creation of view. Why it is important is that is this is really required for you all. Okay, so table creation is not important, rather than creation of the view is important. Why? Because if you go to the real time, right, and if you just open your database, there could be a chances that you are not able to see any tables on your system. So if you expand it, the tables will be not there here. Instead of that, there are some views options are there. Views. Okay, the views will be there. So why views is required? Views is required in the sense for the security purposes. So they don't want to expose the direct table to any of the employees in the organization. Rather than what they will do is that they will create the views out of the table and they will just give it to you for your work purpose. Hmm? So that is the first point. And so how to create the view? Very simple actually. Okay. I say whatever the table you are creating, right? So create view, then you need to give a view name. Okay. So I say always start with a VW actually. The syntax real time we will put it VW only. It stands for view. Okay. So let's take this query only, and out of that I want to create a view out of this. Create view name. Let's take ABG sales order, something like that. Okay, as this. That's it. Let's so create view name. I say it's not working. Let me run this. Okay. Uh, Command complete successfully. Okay. Now refresh it. Now if you run this, this is all system views. Where I was SQL demo only, right? Refresh again. Ideally, one view should come here. Oh, I am doing refreshing the bike store. Sorry, it should be and view will be created here. See, this is the view VW. Now, if you execute this, select star from your VW average sales order. Automatically, that output will come. You don't need to write anything. It will just give you the average order sales. Okay, so this is very important. Sometimes what happen is or your let's take you are working on a project, okay, and let's take it is a very common thing, okay, in let's take you are working on a Power BI project and multiple tables needs to be involved, okay. So instead of writing the joins everything inside the Power BI, right, what we will do specifically, we'll write a SQL statement out of that, considering all the joins everything, and finally we see that okay, this is my output. Then on top of that, we'll request the like the database team or DBA team to create a view out of that. That consists of the required columns, whichever is required. Hmm? And that I will use into my reports. This is one of the use cases when you are creating your why you will create the actual view. Okay, make sense now? Are you there, guys?
Yeah, can you please repeat what is the use of view?
Yeah,
I mean,
use
like,
of yeah.
yeah.
So let's take an example of this. Let me go to this bike store. So you have multiple tables here, right? Hmm. So let's take we have a requirement comes up in this case that we need all the information from brands, category, product, stock, customer, order item, everything, right? Instead of doing the model, because sometimes what happen is there will be huge set of records will be there in the database, right? So when you importing that to the Power BI and all, right? So there will be chances of that once you start creating up a report, right? The performance will be degraded. Okay. So instead of that, what we will do is that whatever the required columns we have, let's take on the brand, I need the brand name. From the category, I need the category and price. From the product, I need some information, stocks, customer, all these informations, right? And some logic. So what I'll do is that I will come to my database. I'll write my logic with a select statement with subqueries, everything, whatever is required, I will just put it there. And finally, whatever the output I'm getting, let's take 10, 15 columns with the required output. So with a select statement, right? I got it. So now what I will do? So if I use that statement and that statement needs to be frequently used, I required for my project. So what I will do on top of that, I will request a view needs to be created just like this. So I will ask them to create view and I will give a view name as whatever the logic I have given on the select. So it will create a view out of that. So that consists of all the column which I require. Then finally my Power BI report, instead of pointing to the tables, right, it will point to my view and get the output, and performance will be start improving. Okay, clear? We will see in actions, no worries, when I'm using on the Power BI. Don't worry, but this is the one of the use cases we will use the view. Okay, all right. Still there or left? What is this? I don't know what is happening today. Suddenly it is getting disconnected. It's just a rough. I'm asking how after how many minutes it is getting disconnected? 30 minutes?
I think it's 30 minutes.
30
Yeah,
minutes,
that's
right?
the
Yeah.
reason it's disconnected.
I know the reason behind that. I'll talk to them. Okay. Okay. So this is about your the the conclusion the we just close it out the SQL sessions. Okay. Now for your next session, the Power BI, right? So one thing, you just make sure that you install. All you have the Windows system ready? I don't think so. Anybody have the Mac, right? Just confirm because Mac will not work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shailaja,
I
you?
have my Windows. Yeah.
Yeah, even I
Yeah,
don't have
yeah.
Mac.
Right. Okay. Make sure that. Okay. Now, just go to your store. You have the Microsoft Store, right? Whether you are on Windows 10 or Windows 11, wherever you are. Go to the Microsoft Store. This much of time is taking. Okay. Once you open up, right? Search for Power BI something. So you will get Power BI desktop. Okay. Just click on that, and here you will get get. For you it will be get because I already have. It will be open. You just get. It will just automatically download it onto your system. It's a free one. Okay. This is the only thing you require from the next class. Then I will explain you what exactly you need to do on the next class. Okay. This is the only the prerequisites for the before coming to the previous class. Sorry, next class. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in real time, the Power BI developers also have the access to database.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah, to
Hmm.
retrieve data. Okay.
To write some queries, they will definitely they should have. Otherwise, it is impossible to sometimes.
Yeah.
So it is impossible.
Okay. So we can't create the views by our own. We need to request
Aha,
for a database team.
some database you have the access, and most of the time I'm saying 95% will not have the access to. So what will can write this query, whatever your expectation, and top of that we need to give the script to them. In the sense we need to say create view name whatever you want to put it as this select statement, and then give it to the DBA. They will execute it so that you will get the view. Then you can access it. And
And
table
Samir, can you
creation.
show me?
Go ahead. What is that?
Yeah, you can go ahead. No, you can go ahead.
I'm saying the creation of the table, insertion, delete, update. Never. It will be never there for you. Okay. It will be only select. And whatever the things we have discussed on the select. Join, subqueries, you can write anything to fetch your data. Apart from that, nothing. Okay. Yeah, go ahead now. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, can you show me which Power BI we have to download? Can you show me again, please?
This one, Power BI Desktop.
And that, okay, 1 second.
You search for the Power BI, right?
Power
So there
BI.
will be multiple things will come. One will come Power BI
Yeah,
Desktop, Power BI Report Builder. Report Builder is not required. Power BI Desktop.
okay.
Are you getting or not getting there?
Actually, I'm not getting it. I'll.
You went to the Maxo store only, right?
Microsoft Store, okay.
Go there. You can share your screen. Otherwise, you can. I'll stop.
Ah, yes. Oh, 1 second, Samir. I'm trying to. Okay. Okay. Power BI, okay.
Got it?
1 minute. I'm trying.
Hmm.
No, I'm unable to share my screen actually.
And because you
So
don't have
you
the
you have
rights.
to give me that.
Right, I'm giving
Yeah.
it. I think now you should have.
Yeah. Why it's not allowing me?
Not allowing you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now
I
it's
yes.
okay. I'm trying to, but it's not allowing me.
Not sure.
Okay. So in Microsoft Store, we have to download the Power BI, right?
Yeah, if it is 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, if it is not there in that, let me share my screen to you again. Somehow, let's take on your store. If this is not there, everybody have that. Can you just confirm, Shailaja, Vali, you have on your stores?
Yeah, I have.
Okay,
Yeah, I have.
right. So if
I
somebody
think
don't have,
in one of the classes,
go ahead, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, one of the classes, I don't remember you showed how to do it, so I did.
Oh, okay, great. So this is one way to download. And if you don't have something, right, so you just go to the Google, sign the Power BI desktop download, then there will be a link comes up, download Microsoft Power BI here. And here also select the products, Power BI desktop, and you can download for free. Okay. But the problem
Yeah.
with this
And
is
now,
that, go ahead, sorry,
no, no, it's okay, Sam. Now I got it. Thank you. Hmm.
where in store itself you got it?
Yes.
Good, that's great. So that only the
Hmm.
difference between this two and this download and the store download is whenever any recent changes or any new features got added to the Power BI desktop, right? If you download this way, right, you need to upgrade yourself with the Power BI desktop. It will ask you to upgrade. Whereas the store version is auto upgraded. So any the last features came on December, right? So it automatically converted to December, and when it converted to January and new feature comes up, it will auto upgrade your Power BI desktop. In that way, it is good. So that's why I like the store version of the Power BI desktop. Okay, all right, all right. I think I'm done for today, and let's miss on your Sunday, and let's start with Power BI. And if I end up the day today, in the sense today's my night, okay, because I have some couple of things needs to be taken care of now. I can't share it now, but I will make sure that by end of today, I will give some assignments, extra assignments, so that you can complete uh, along with the previous assignments. Okay, all right,
Yeah, okay, Samir.
all right.
Till now we have three assignments, right?
Three or four, I don't know. I didn't count.
We have
How many?
4 assignments.
Four assignment, right?
Oh, okay.
Four,
Yeah, we have four.
and I am giving another three. So total will be seven assignments. Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
seven
Okay.
assignment and one project. Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, let's meet on Sunday. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.